What's going on, guys? Stupid plane. Stupid Aeroworks. um, yeah, just taking a lot of time. So, got the extensions run for the elevator servos. I was gonna do it's set up for 2 on each elevator half. I was gonna do that, but that's a lot. That's 6 heavy duty extensions down the fuselage. It's a lot of weight. I don't know. So anyway, I only ran 2, so I think I'm gonna run 1 per half. So I have like 30 93 81s, but I think I'm out of 961, so I have to get some of those. Okay. And yeah, I got the mount all made up for the servo, and then got the extensions through, mounted the servo, got the linkage set up. Haven't prettied anything up yet. Got to do some sanding and covering. But yeah, this is a classic example I always talk about with the push-pull being where you really want the stuff to be accurate so that it's not binding. I think I'm going to make a video. I'm going to wrap it up for the night right now, but where I'm going to put, you see I have a protractor on the rudder. So I'm going to have this rudder go 50 degrees left and 50 degrees right. But the interesting thing on that is to do, I mean, anybody could do that, but is to make that servo arm go 50 degrees left and right. And, that's this 50, that they're all 50 is just because that's what I want on the rudder, but, on your ailerons, this could be 38, 38 or 38, 39 or 38, 37, whatever you're doing. And then still 50-50 is your optimal travel on your servo arm from a to be determined center. So I'm going to make a video. I might try, I ordered a protractor. I always do these with paper protractors like this, but Servo City has some kind of clamp-on protractor for servos, which I just recently saw. So I ordered it, so it should be here in a couple days, and I'll see if that'll make it look more obvious, and if not, I'll put the paper protractor on. But I'll get this one to go left and right 50 for the rudder to go left and right 50, and I'll do that by adjusting this pushrod length. Yeah, and then these other factors, the control horn location, and everything else comes into play, the angles this way, etc., like we always talk about. But yeah, all things being correct, then you adjust the pushrod length until when this is going 50 degrees on that protractor, that servo arm is going 50 degrees left and right from a to be determined center. And that's why I haven't hooked up the linkages on this side, because until I get one done, and then I'll be able to measure the pushrod length and know pretty much where I'll want it on the other side, and then I'll be able to start with that over there in that location, and then I will disconnect this linkage too at that point, and we'll have a good starting point. And then on the other side, I'll also put the protractor, and it'll go 50-50 for this to go 50-50. And what I'll do, here's what I want to do. I want to, before I do any of that, run this out at 90. So right now, this thing's centered. Let's see. Okay, this thing's centered up. And then this thing's close to 90 right now, so I'll put a protractor on there and make sure that's dead nuts 90. And then I'll do the other side, dead nuts 90. And then, perpendicular to the servo body. And then I will show on the protractor where that travel ends up, like how equal that the servo arm moves left and right for this to go 50 degrees left and right. And yeah, I want to make a video of that. And then then yeah, because let's say that turns out to be 45, 55, or something like that. Then you'll know that it's opposite on the other side, 55, 45. And so one way is going 55, the other side is going 45. Um, and then I'll try to pop off I'll make a mid rate, and then I'll try to pop off the servo arm on each side, remove it from the servo, and see how hard that is to do. Then I'll go ahead and put the protractor on, I already have the protractor on, but I'll equal out by adjusting the push rod length, both sides, so that they're traveling, the servo arm itself is going left and right an equal distance and the same distance on each side. What's nice here too is I'm using the Dubro bolt and clevises, so I can fine tune that too. So I could on a modern ARF, you could still do this right, and then one side might be 48-48 and the other side might be 50-50, and there's nothing you can do. But in here, you just spin the clevis on that fine threaded bolt one turn, and then you match them both up at 50-50. So this is why this is pretty nice. But yeah, then like I said, I'll use the protractor, show it, get those going, get the servo arm traveling equal and on both sides of the plane. So it'll always go 50 degrees, no matter which side of the plane, no matter if the throw is going left or right. And then I'll do it a mid rate, to where it goes 25 degrees on the rudder, left and right, and then see if the servo arms pop right off. Because historically for me, that's what happens. Like even on a 4 servo aileron, 2, 3, or 4 servos, I can pop any one of the arms off the servo at any deflection, whether it be an eighth, a quarter, 3/8, half, 5/8, 3/4, 7/8, all the way through the range. I can always pop any of the servo arms off, with ease. They just fall off if you do it that way. So if that's the case, then can't be binding if the servo arm just always pops off anywhere throughout the range of travel. So I think I will do that on this for grins. I think I'll wait for that Servo City protractor and then give that all a whirl. See if I can prove my point, which I think I've already proven for 23 years of saying it, but that might be a fun way to do it. But yeah, I'm actually thinking of flying this plane like this without even prettying up the covering and gap sealing and stuff. I think I'll just throw a little blue tape on a couple of the edges and just go fly it, just because I'm tired of working on this thing. And then I'll cover it after I put up a couple of flights, and I'll bring it home and pretty it up. But yeah, it doesn't need any of that to fly. So all it needs now is the linkage on the opposite side, and me to set up that synchronization, equalization. So that's just another hour or two tomorrow night, and that'll be done. So then rudder will be done. Oh, and then elevators. Yeah, I better order some servos today. That'll be Wednesday. So maybe get them Friday if I'm lucky. Do the elevators over the weekend or something. So yeah, we're still at least a week out on this thing. I probably will end up covering all this stuff, because sanding and finishing and covering and stuff like that, because I'll have a whole week before the servos arrive, unless I change my mind and use either single 9381s or dual 9381s, and then I have to have the weight of 2 more extensions through the fuse. They're 60 inchers. I'll give that all some thought. But yeah, that's what's going on. I hate this plane. Oh, I got a little story. I finally got, you can see it's not in here anymore in this big old mess. I finally got all the parts that I needed to get that E-Flight 52-inch extra, so 1.3 meter extra 300, which I have one of those in Minnesota, but I really didn't get to ring it out at all or really have any room to fly it, but it felt real good. And then today, yeah, I got all the batteries and bolts, all the things that were missing, servos broken. And yeah, I actually put up 2 flights on it. Um, didn't have batteries or the right connectors for the battery chargers all charged up, but I was able to get 2 flights up on it. One with a 3-cell, which is what it recommended, so I just bought it without thinking about it. And that thing it won't hover. It's not 1-to-1 on the power to weight. It's not quite 1-to-1, but you could rifle roll the shit out of it, and it did feel great. Felt just like I remembered. I have extreme throw on the elevator. I did a little extra work on that, and that's in almost no expo, and that's how I was rifle rolling it. So it's not, it's not so scary when it's a, $200 foam plane. And yeah, so, but I mean, the thing was just honking. It's so fast, and roll rate's fast, plane's fast, and it's a little hard to see. So like Juan Sanchez was right, I did feel like that was good for me. When I flew the Edge after that, the Edge felt like it was in molasses. It felt so slow. So it really gives you a lot more time. But then one of the guys showed up that I see out there from time to time, and he said he had a 4-cell. He goes, you should be running that on a 4-cell. And I go, yeah, I could see that, got the wrong batteries. And he let me borrow one of his 4-cells for a flight. And then, then I could hover it all day, punch out, like, with, real quick, plenty of power, mega power. And then the rifle rolls were just nuts on the 4-cell, it's so fast. So it's funny. Initial idea with that thing when I got one a few months ago was in Minnesota was it's foam. I see these guys, they just patch it back up once they fly it, but the way that thing's rifle rolling, if the speed, if I was to mess up and bonk a wing or something, there would be nothing to glue up. It'd just be gone. But yeah, it's super fun, and I think that plane flies really good. It does everything. All the Harrier rolls and torque rolls and knife edge. Oh, all the rail work. I like to call it rail work. They call them wing slaps. I don't think they called them wing slaps. If you look at this video of me from 9 years ago with the Hangar 9 Extra 300X, which Santi Perez was flying back then too, at my event, 2015 or 16. And he was killing it with that. And I loved that plane the most until this year. That was my favorite plane. And I'm doing what I was calling then knife edge wells. And I had just, in that video, that was the first day I'd ever done them. I just heard about them and seen them, but they weren't called wing slaps then. I don't think they were called wing slaps at all. I don't remember that name until more this time coming back. And then, that plane must be pretty good because it's amazing. I just did those things down on the deck and without any trouble, and just started doing a square box, which I hadn't even seen before. And then when I got back like 8 years later, I noticed everybody's doing a square box with it, and then they're calling them wing slaps. Why am I telling that story? Oh yeah, because the Extra 300 E-Flight 52-inch 1.3 meter foam job, it does really good wing slaps, rail work, I like to call it. Knife edge wells, but yeah, wing slaps. So it does that good. it, you know, pretty much does everything good, and a rifle roll is good too. But everything is real quick, which is what, yeah, one Sanchez told me. He goes, "It'll be good for you because it's so fast." And yeah, it did feel that way. I do want to like see if I can speed up the roll rate now on the edge because yeah, it feels like it's going slow, you know, compared to that thing. So that was kind of fun. Continue to love the edge. That last video, I felt like I was taking a step back, like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Like it just felt like I was just starting to improve. And then like the last time or two that I've flown, it feels like I'm not flying as good. It's like so hard to get better. I need to be 12. See all these videos of 12-year-olds. I think there was a like 9 or 10-year-old that I just saw a video of, and he's better than me. So obviously he doesn't have more time flying than I do, but he's got 9 or 10-year-old reflexes, 9 or 10-year-old eyesight, and he obviously isn't worried about anything. No what ifs in that kid's mind. So yeah, I'm gonna have to try harder. But yeah, I hate this plane, and hate wrenching on it. But yeah, pretty close. Like I said, this is an hour or two to have the rudder ready to go. You know, uncovered. Um, and yeah, just one night on the elevators. I think good to go. I mean, I could do it all. I could do it all tomorrow night if I wanted to, and I use the 9381s. Fly Friday. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But anyway, I did some more work on this piece of junk. Is there anything else to be showing you on what I did? Not really. I think I pretty much showed you everything. Yeah, and I'm rambling as usual. All right, I'm out.